Thank you, dear viewers, for staying with us here on ITV International. Time now to resume this morning's edition of the Breakfast Show. And you know that Egypt has a plan to boost the competitiveness of the country's ports, create added value, lower investments, and activate the flow of importation and exportation. Egypt, of course, has many important ports at the Mediterranean Sea, including Alexandria, Damietta, El Arish, Port Said, East Port Said. The port of Jarjoub is also scheduled to open soon. Egypt also owns important ports on the Red Sea, such as the ports of Ain al-Sukhna, Suez, Safaga, and Nuweiba. In addition to specialized tourist and petroleum ports, the new plan is expected to be completed by the year 2024. It covers 58 projects for upgrading the Egyptian ports with a cost estimated at around 63 billion Egyptian pounds. To shed more light on the topic, we have the pleasure of having with us here in the studio Dr. Zainab Nawar, lecturer of economics. A very good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Professor, what is the significance, first of all, of upgrading the seaports?
Of course, the upgrading of the seaports, and we talk about the majority of the seaports that we do have here in Egypt, it has a great economic significance. Number one, given our unique location is for the Egyptian ports, and given that we are, as in terms of location, we are the center of the world. So we are under the assumption that we should be handling a bigger amount of trade coming and going into Egypt. It's about how the best use of the resources that you do have in these ports. It's about how to attract as much as you can from what we can call them shipping lines and shipping agents, creating further opportunities for industrialization and creating jobs, adding value, what we can say, developing governorates and developing cities and the link between the port and the city. So if we talk about one port, which is if we are going to choose any of what we can say beautiful, important, significant ports that we do have in Egypt, it is an economic unit. It's not about port. The port activity, it's about, yes, importation, exportation, transshipment. This is an economic unit. This is a huge opportunity of creating a lot of economic opportunities and a lot of jobs, a lot of industries, a lot of agribusiness work, a lot of things that should be done given our unique and center location.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Zainab, Egypt's ports did not see a decline in activity despite the drop in global trade during the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's what official numbers show. So your comment on that?
My comment on this, it has two types of comments on this. Number one, what we had done in terms of upgrading the ports. So definitely when you upgrade the port, when you increase the capacity of the port, when you are adding more, what we can say, adding more platforms, doing some engineering work, so you are going to attract bigger ships and you are going to attract more lines, shipping lines to come into the port. So the significant work that had been done, it had, of course, encouraged part of the ships and the ship owners to come into our ports. So this is number one. Number two, it's the amount of exportation that we had made during the crisis. Actually, we had, as Egypt, and especially for the exportation of the agricultural food going into Europe. So we had, and going into the Gulf countries. So we had benefited a lot that for any country around the world, due to COVID-19, who had stopped producing agricultural products, but here in Egypt we could continue doing this type of activity. So we
Wonderful.
had exported to a lot of countries in Europe, even in Asian countries and into the Gulf countries. So this also explains why we had an economic activities and we didn't stop work even during the crisis. So we have these two factors that have contributed to
Very
this
clear.
activities and going on activities during the crisis.
Now, if we did indeed see a rise in agribusiness and in agricultural products exportation, what other sectors were affected, though? I mean, I'm sure that some sectors were affected due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Worldwide?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I mean when it comes to Egypt's ports activities. So as far as exportation for agri products, we were on the rise and we did a very good job, as you mentioned. Now, what sectors were affected, though, negatively affected by
Negatively, in fact,
COVID-19?
unfortunately, we had a lot of economic sectors have been affected negatively by COVID-19. Why this happened? Because of the decreasing of the international demand and partially the decreasing of the consumption of, even if we talk about consumed good and trading online. So unfortunately, we had an example of this, but also I will tell you something that during the COVID-19, it's one of the sectors that it had suffered, but a little bit, the textiles, for example, and garments. But I will tell you again, to some extent, we had benefited worldwide, again, from the excess supply of the textiles and garments here in Egypt, and we had also made a good. Maybe other sectors, if we think about industrialized whatever products, different types of industries, maybe it had been affected by a little amount, but others we had done a good job. In petrochemicals, of course, and we had done a good job in petrochemicals and exporting this type of products. What else, and what we had done recently for the more of exploration of gas and liquid gas. Also, I think we are doing fine in most of the product, but I guess some others that have been affected because of the COVID-19, because of the decreasing of the consumption of some products.
Right. Now, Professor, of course, the goal here of this comprehensive plan to upgrade the ports is to make Egypt is already, of course, the center or a logistics center in the Middle East and Africa, but to make this something permanent and promote its presence in the international trade map. Again, we are in the international trade map, but we are doing this to upgrade. So what volume of job opportunities you think could be created from this upgrade? And I'm sure the creation of jobs is one of the priorities of the government and is a cornerstone for the continuation of economic growth in the light of the challenges being posed again by COVID-19.
Yes.
At this time.
First, when you do this upgrade, so you are going to attract more ships and more shipping lines to come into our ports. So number one, when you talk about a ship that is coming into our port, of course, there will be a product that will be handled out of this ship. So you are creating a lot of jobs and opportunities for the third parties who are working with the shipping line and the shipping agencies in all the type of work that is related to the ship. So assume that we have, for example, 5-6 what we call subcontracting or third-party companies working they're doing the service work of the ship, providing the ship with whatever water, with fuel, getting the products and whatever the type of goods out from the ship into the port. So all of this, number one, creates a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunities. If ships are not going to come into our ports, so you can imagine that if we have 5-6 companies working on handling all the type of products on the ship, so all of these jobs will not be created. If you talk about daily, even if we're going to pay to them on daily basis. Handling the products out from the port, so you need a truck, you need cars, you need even labor to handle this. So all of this means that you are losing jobs. Number two, if we talk about the product itself, so if you don't have product that's coming into our country, so this product, you are going to do further manufacturing work on this product, so creating more value added and creating more jobs. You may use labor and you may create employment from the city itself. If you talk about the city, for example, of Dumyat, so you will see to what extent the port of Dumyat is creating opportunities for the whole of the city. Different types of business, different types of those who are handling the work in the port and those who are working in the ports. Those who are working in the part of tariffs and dealing with the different governmental agencies, also you create opportunities for those people who are those we call them freight forwarders. Those who has the job is to do what to do. They have to do all the types of paperwork to finish the paperwork that is related to tariffs and paying tariffs related to the goods. So this ship coming into your port, and for the cargo itself, it has and it will create a huge number of jobs. Adding back to this, the jobs that will be created through the manufacturing bank. You're going to have this product to go to whatever a business named X. So this business will get this raw material, and then further manufacturing and further work will be done to this. So you are creating a lot of adding value. So we have another part which is exportation. So now you had and we had imported the product and the cargo and whatever the goods are coming into our business, and then after manufacturing we are going to export this product. So when you upgrade, when you just attract, when you encourage more shipping line, when you give them incentives, when you give them deduction in the prices or what they do pay to the ports, so definitely what we say that the freight rate will be less. So when the freight rate is less, this means that the price of the product itself that you are exporting will be less. So as for the Egyptian products, you will have more competitiveness.
Right.
And you can compete with the other and different countries because of this less in cost that have been created because of the upgrade of the ports. It is an interlinked activities and chains which are very important and has a huge reflection.
You beautifully explained the cycle, if I may say. Dr. Zainab, it is worth mentioning that East Port Said is one of the most important ports in the Eastern Mediterranean, characterized by international specifications, especially after the implementation of the new expansions for the first phase of the port and after the opening of the Port Said tunnels that have a link with Sinai. So can you comment on the importance of the East Port Said area?
Yes, what we can say about the importance of East Port Said and for the ports that have been some sort of link between the port and between the roads and the tunnels. I mean, this is also so important when you talk about decreasing the time. When you decrease the time of the transportation of any product, again, you decrease the cost. Again, you are creating more competitiveness into our product. Also, decreasing the time, it has an effect in terms of decreasing the time of manufacturing. So if I'm an industry X here in Egypt, and then I will get the product in less time with less complicated paperwork. So this, first, number one, it will encourage me to produce more. Because you are, as a government, you are helping me to have less obstacles, number one. Decreasing the time, so this means that you are decreasing the burden of getting this products. So definitely I will produce, and I will produce more, and again with less price. So these interconnections between ports and the different, what we can say, means of transportation, less time means less money, means more competitiveness. East Port Said as a specific port, it has a very importance, and it has to play a bigger role that is related to what we call transshipment, which is very important, that you are attracting shipping lines not to just bring products or to take products, no, you are attracting shipping lines and shipping agents just to put products for a while, and then other ships will come and to pick it to other areas around you in the Mediterranean. This also creates a huge value added, and this also will
And
let
this means you're a center.
a center. So if you have a bigger ships that are coming, having a lot of products, so instead that the shipping line is moving all along the different ports, and then the cost of this big ship will be so much. So why not this big ship just to put all of the products here in Egypt, and then smaller ships in terms of what we call volume,
yeah.
with less cost, they will come and pick these products and then do a further distribution of the goods and services. This type of services gives you a very center rule, give you an important rule, especially if we talk about the Mediterranean and Mediterranean ports and Mediterranean countries. So for East Port Said, it already play a role in this, and we need to have a bigger role for this, because this is very important to create value added, and also to create the number of what we call the work that we do for the transshipment activities.
Right. Now, Dr. Zainab, the new plan, again, is expected to be completed by the year 2024, covering 58 projects, and for upgrading the ports, of course. And the cost is estimated at 63 billion Egyptian pounds. How do you see the ambitiousness of this plan? It's a very ambitious plan. Egypt has done it before. Many mega projects have succeeded in the past few years. So again, I want you to comment on this ambitious plan.
Yes, it is very ambitious, and it's very important to maintain our competitiveness of ports. Would you like to comment on a plan? You have to ask those who are going to work with you, your partners in ports are the shipping lines and the shipping agents. I had the chance to just have small meetings with them, asking them what you see about this type of upgrading for the ports. They said what is happening is good for us. Even we used to ask them questions, what you see about the service, the quality of service, this type of upgrade. We now are receiving good, what we can say, good reflections and a type of satisfaction from them, which is very important. This upgrade first will affect all the type of economic activities that we will have in Egypt in terms of importation and exportation. Number two, of course, it will help the FDI, and it will help the Egyptian manufacturer with less cost, so less time, and all of this what we had talked about. Number three, it is very important for Egypt to have a center rule in trade, because if you didn't do this, other countries will do this. And we don't want others to do this. You have China, you have India, you have even the US, and you have other countries are looking for different routes just to, what we can say, guarantee some sort of protection for their trade. So why won't be one of these lines, and one of the important lines that nobody can, I think the experience of Evergreen, which is the Suez Canal, what happened, it had proved one thing, that still Egypt had this potential rule, and no others can take
Naturally,
from other.
I mean, this is God's gift to Egypt. I mean, it's natural.
But you have to
no
build
one
on
should
this.
have any doubt
Yes,
about this.
but you have to build on this. You have to maintain this. You have to create more value, to create more volume of importation and exportation, and more economic value added. Maybe an international companies will come to you. Maybe FDIs will come to you because of the value that you are creating in ports, and the value that you are creating in the Suez Canal area and the Suez Canal zone. So when you do this ambitious plan, you are getting more and more of business in different type of activities, and also you are serving the Egyptian manufacturer, and also you are serving at the end the Egyptian demand, because when we have the product with less cost and less price, so at the end we are one of the biggest beneficiaries of what is happening for this type of upgrading.
Sure.
Having the products with less price.
Sure.
So we are all winners in this.
Sure. So you believe that we are moving in the right direction to best benefit or exploit our great geographical position, again, that was simply a gift from God. I mean,
Yes.
this is, so we are moving in the right direction.
Yes, we are moving in the right direction, and we still need to move more into getting more and the latest technologies, how to attract again and to talk with the different shipping lines and agents, talk with what they do understand, talk with their language, attract more companies. So of course we are working on the right direction, and we need to add more on this.
Sure, as Dr. Zainab affirmed that Egypt's maritime industry, including its seaports, of course, and the Suez Canal, will bring enormous benefits to the economy as a whole. On this note, we thank very much our dear guests here. On behalf of you, dear viewers, Dr. Zainab Nawar, Lecturer of Economics. It's been a pleasure and very informative. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Dear viewers, please stay with us. My dear colleague, Dina Hussein, will be back to resume this morning's edition of The Breakfast Show. Don't go away.